Tell me what your hat says.
My hat? Well, I thought it was clear to everybody. It says "Make America Great Again" in Russian. And I happened to get it, of all places, at the Reagan National Airport 4 or 5 years ago.
Awesome. Thank you.
I've given away 20 of them.
Thank you. Wind it up!
Trump is a liar! 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 Trump is a liar!
Who fell off? One's a former even another one.
Is that who it was that fell out?
Hello, everybody, and welcome back. That video you just saw that we just opened up with was the scene from Rochester, New York today. Those people gathered outside their federal building to deliver a message from we the people to the government, more specifically to Donald and to Elon. That was a very small gathering. I've protested at that same building when I was a much younger man, and we drew 10 times, 20 times that crowd. But today was a winter day in the 40s. It's the first time that we've been able to get together, and I think they did well for themselves. The message got out. The support from the cars and the people going by, even city buses and city administrative vehicles going by and blowing their horns and supporting the people, it was really well done. This was an almost impromptu movement that was listed on the 5051 website, indicating that the people from Rochester who were organizing these events wanted to get together. But I digress. This is but one corner of a small city in a state in a big country like America. We're not Boston. We're not Los Angeles. We're not Dallas. We're not Chicago. We're just a little town. The other areas that are going on, and I'll bring some more of that to you later on as the week progresses, the other cities are having larger parties, larger events, larger protests. And this is all because of Donald. Now, dear Donald decided he was going to launch a trade war against our three best economic partners and our trade partners, which drew immediate retaliation. Canada being the most vocal, China the most subtle. They just tacked on more tariffs onto what we want to buy. This is not good for any of us. There's nobody going to make out in this. It just doesn't work out for anyone. So Canada is going to be in here, and I'm going to play you a clip from a couple of people from Canada who I have some respect for and who I have belief in. What I want to bring to you is Ontario's Doug Ford and also the Prime Minister Trudeau having a conversation.
We read in Politico that Ontario Premier Doug Ford threatened to shut off his province's electricity exports to the United States and block shipments of Ontario's high-grade nickel, which he said provides 50% of U.S. supplies. This is per the Globe and Mail. He added, if they want to try to annihilate Ontario, I will do anything, including cutting off their energy. This is energy to the United States, with a smile on his face. With us now is the man, I guess, behind that smile, Doug Ford, the Premier of Ontario in Canada. Premier, thank you so much for being with us. Okay, what are your plans and how far are you willing to take it?
Well, first of all, I have to tell you, Canadians love Americans. We love the U.S. It's one person that's causing these problems. I've talked to senators and congresspeople and governors, Republicans and Democrats. Not one of them agree with them. I've talked to business CEOs of the largest companies. They totally disagree with us. And President Trump ran on a mandate to lower costs, to create more jobs. This is going to do exactly the opposite. The auto sector, we buy over 400% more autos than Mexico, 200% more than anywhere in the world. And, you know, he put up a smoke screen, he keeps moving the goalposts. Well, the market is speaking loud and clear. the market is going to go downhill faster than the American bobsled team, and we're going to continue seeing in the U.S. plants close, assembly lines shut down. In the auto sector, they may last 5, maybe 8 days before the parts that go back and forth across the border 8 times. This is unnecessary, and we do have to retaliate. And I apologize to the American people. It's not you. It's your president that's causing this problem. We're the #1 customer in the world to the United States. We had a great relationship. I want to continue on with that relationship, but I will use every tool in our toolbox to send a message to President Trump that this is the wrong thing to do. When Warren Buffett comes out and says this is basically insanity, you have to listen to someone like Warren Buffett.
We did everything we promised. We stuck to our word. And we did it because we believe in working together to protect our citizens. Now I want to speak directly to one specific American, Donald. In the over 8 years you and I have worked together, we've done big things. We signed a historic deal that has created record jobs and growth in both of our countries. We've done big things together on the world stage, as Canada and the US have done together for decades, for generations. And now we should be working together to ensure even greater prosperity for North Americans in a very uncertain and challenging world. Now, it's not in my habit to agree with the Wall Street Journal, but Donald, they point out that even though you're a very smart guy, this is a very dumb thing to do.
Yeah, they're trying to tell you the truth, folks. They got no reason to want this war. They didn't start this war. It's just like when Donald says that Ukraine started the war with Russia. He's trying to make it sound like Canada, Mexico, and China all started the war with us, when really it was his mouth that got him going. His mouth and his foolish brain got him into a position that he couldn't talk himself out of, so he tried to bluff. And that bluff got called. Along with all of this that's going on, along with the tariffs that are going to come to us, and I'm going to play you some stuff here from, I think it's Target, the Target CEO.
The top U.S. trading partners are hitting back at President Trump's overnight tariffs. Right now, out on Wall Street, investors are weighing this new exchange of tariffs with Mexico, Canada, and China. The Dow already down more than 500 points, and the market's just opened. And inflation-weary Americans could soon feel the squeeze on their wallets big time. Prices of food, electronics, and big-ticket items like cars all potentially going up and up. And there's more breaking news right now. Target becoming the latest top retailer to issue a specific warning about the U.S. economy. The CEO just a few moments ago saying sales fell last month, U.S. consumer confidence is weakening, and Americans will feel the pinch almost immediately.
The consumer will likely see price increases over the next couple of days. You think about all the fresh produce. You know, we depend on Mexico during the winter. We're going to try to make sure we can do everything we can to protect pricing. But if there's a 25% tariff, those prices will go up.
For things like what? Strawberries, avocados, bananas? What are we talking about?
You've got that list right.
Is that so?
Those are some of the key items.
And those prices could change within days in the stores?
Change, certainly over the next week.
A store we all know is already warning that the prices are definitely going up with these tariffs. He's trying to warn the American people. Along with that, for any of you who are in the stock market, or if you know how to get to cnbc.com, that's cnbc.com, and take a look at the front page of that website, you will find out that in the last 48 hours, Donald has tumbled the stock market, well, 1,300 points in 48 hours. Now, let me remind you that the last time he was in office, he tumbled at almost 20,000 points before COVID kicked in and we had nothing. Everything had to come to a screeching halt. He's back at it again. I've also got some video here of his ratings. I've been having an ongoing conversation, and his moniker is that of a pirate, so you know who I'm talking to now, don't you? I got a little clip for you here because you keep touting that he's got the best polling numbers of any president ever, and here's the proof that you couldn't prove I got for you. Here it is.
Tonight, the president is headed to Capitol Hill for his first major address to Congress of this second term. So another question is, how are Americans feeling about President Trump as he heads to the Capitol? Harry Anton is here to help us set the scene. So set the scene, first of all, overall approval, and how that helps us always have a good sense of how Americans are feeling.
Right. We'll set the baseline here. We'll look at overall approval rating, and we're going to look at it presidents at this point in their presidency, right? And the word here that I would use to describe Trump is awful. In fact, the only person who does worse than Trump does right now with a +1 net approval rating is himself back in 2017 when he was at -8. So he's doing better than he was.
I was going to say, you could put it another way. He's making gains.
He's making gains, but he's doing worse than everybody else. The average president at this point, get this, plus 27 points on their net approval rating. Donald Trump is doing historically awful. The only person he beats is, again, himself from term number 1.
So, yeah, his numbers are taking a dive. He's taking a dive. And now all of a sudden, because Donald can't back up himself, he can't back his own words up, and he can't admit when he's done something wrong, suddenly his cabinet has come out and said, well, there's a possibility we might ease back on these tariffs on Wednesday. I'm betting he does it a lot sooner because he needs to cut out everything coming at us. What he's throwing out to the rest of the world, they're doubling up and throwing back to us. We aren't going to win this. Doug Ford from Ontario, Canada is telling us. Trudeau is telling us. The EU is telling us. Mexico, Gloria Sheinbaum, the lady that's the president of Mexico, I don't want to just say she's a lady, she's the president of Mexico, and she's a mathematician. She's highly skilled at what she does. She's somebody with an economics degree that can speak better than I can right now. She's not afraid to go to war with us because she knows how the numbers are going to work out. But she's keeping her mouth shut. She's being quiet. Xi is being quiet. He's just doubling up on all the taxation coming back. And I've got some B-roll here I'm going to be running for you. But anyways, this entire thing, this protest that I'm showing you that happened in Rochester, Podunk Town, USA, the stock market crashing, the people protesting, world leaders telling us they're not mad at we the people. They're literally saying we're not mad at the people. We're mad at one person. Prime Minister Trudeau pointing it out that he wanted to speak to Donald. That's how little respect he has for our elected official, I guess I should call it. But anyways, I digress. I'm thinking that by Wednesday or Thursday, maybe we're going to be in a better position because already the Trump cabinet is walking back the tariffs and walking back some of the comments. And we'll leave it there for the rest of the world to see. I was at the protest today, someone I've been talking to for months now, after seeing what's going on in the street with me today, after talking with some people there, has decided to come in and be a guest. Now, I don't know how soon he's going to be in. Ladies and gentlemen, he will be someone of great interest to you. He's just another local guy from my hometown that I went to high school with, but he's well-read and well-scripted on world politics. Okay, so maybe we'll have him in here shortly. He's agreed to come on. He wants to talk about, I guess the title of what he wants to talk about is how we got here. But anyways, I digress. It's always a pleasure to talk to you. To the people that I spoke to in Rochester, New York today, thank you. You guys were great. The coverage, the requests for my website, wanting to know who I was, coming up and sharing your stories, I really, really, really enjoyed that. You made me feel like family. So thank you to all of you, to the rest of the world, to my viewers and my subscribers. Again, if you like what you're seeing, just give us a like. Like I said, you don't have to subscribe. You know, I know that some people don't like doing that. Just give me a like. Help me with the algorithms. Help me push this thing across the finish line to the rest of the world. With that, folks, I'm going to say thank you for another wonderful day to be able to be with you, and have a wonderful evening. Good night.